Peace, family. Today is July 29th, 2020. I hope all is well. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Today's topic is we are chemical beings and how that's related to endorphins, right? We use the word love, L-O-V-E. I found one of the best acronyms for love is living off valued energy. Living off valued energy. What is that valued energy? Valued energy is how a person makes you feel. More times than not, we don't remember what a person said or did for us, but we always remember how they made us feel last, right? That lasting feeling. That's why I always end my videos with saying, let your last endeavor be your best endeavor. So living off valued energy, we know that endorphins is dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. Right? Those are the only things that we're really addicted to. And it's very tricky because when you say you love somebody, it's almost like you're really saying you love how they make you feel. Meaning their ways and actions, their speech resonates with you, right? And in that resonation, it creates chemistry. And from chemistry, you have what's called a chemical bond, right? And from that chemical bond, is where you understand that you are a chemical being. You just can't get around it. And that word love, whether you're in love with somebody or you're saying that you love somebody through family ship, kinship, friendship, acquaintanceship, still all the ships, it's still based on chemistry, right? Because we are chemical beings. And it's very important how people make you feel. We're slaves to our biology, basically. It's very hard to get around that. It doesn't matter your belief system, it doesn't matter your school of thought, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter your race, right? Being a chemical being supersedes all of that. Ideologies, right? Doesn't matter. You are a chemical being, and so it's very important your course of action with people, the chemistry beyond that exists between people. Sometimes, you can be around people and they can finish your sentence. You don't even have to really explain yourself or defend your position because you're alikes. That's chemistry, right? Naturally moving with somebody without having to explain too many things. That's the chemistry, right? So you normally gravitate toward people who bring you that feeling. And then you say, yo, that's my man, that's my peoples. Or chicks be like, yo, that's my B, right? Or that's my dude, right? But it's still based on chemistry, chemical beings, and living off of that valued energy that you extrapolate from somebody else and how they make you feel. When you walk away from them, when you check your energy, how does it feel? Do you feel drained? Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel inspired by them, by being in their mere presence, right? Does that energy carry over for a few minutes, a few hours, a few days, a few weeks? It varies from person to person because everything is subjective to you and you only, right? So we are chemical beings and endorphins is the game of the day, right? So research shows that low levels of serotonin creates depression, which can possibly lead to suicide, right? Dopamine, I call it being a dope head. Those dopamine hits, you gotta get a vein up, right? It's very important that you get those hits in the interaction between somebody, in the entanglement, which is 2 videos prior, where I was talking about Jada and Will, but it still comes back home, so I'm drawing parallels in that entanglement. And then you have an attachment to the entanglement because experience is entanglement, metaphysically speaking, right? In the world of science. But then you also have attachments which can turn into addictions because you need that feeling to be repeated over and over again by that person, place, or thing. So it might be great adventure. Great adventure might be where you get your chemistry from. The thought of going there, then the actual drive out there. When you go there, you get on all the rides and you experience that feeling, that euphoria of going on a roller coaster ride, of going on the water rides, etc. And it gives you that feeling that I call it the reset button. Because all human beings have to hit a reset button, right? It alleviates the stress that you've been through the day, through the week, through the year. That's why we take vacations, because you're trying to escape the everyday routine. And you're getting that chemical reaction from the vacation, from the people that you're with on the vacation, right? From the pictures that you take and you checking yourself out. All of these things resonate, and it makes you feel good. That's the big part about chemicals. We are chemical beings, right? So when you say you even love somebody, it's funny because you watch people 4-month relationships, 4-year relationships, 14-year relationships, and then the relationship dies. What happened? I thought you loved the person. Now you're throwing the person under a bus. How come? What occurred? What changed? A lot of times I hear from women a lot of times, they'll say, well, he's not the man that I once fell in love with. I miss the guy that I first met and fell in love with. But he's the same guy. His deeds and his behaviors is different now. You don't have no chemical affinity to that no more. So he was living off of that valued energy that was giving you that hit, that dopamine, that oxytocin, the love hormone, right? Those hormones, those chemicals, as they hit you, we're slaves to our biology. You know what I'm saying? So LOVE is living off valued energy. Gotta remember that. It's probably one of the best acronyms that I've heard or seen. And what's ironic is my 18-year-old son taught me that acronym. He brought it to my attention, and then I began to break it down, critically thinking, put it back together, break it down, see where it applies in real time. And when I look at my subjective experience, when I look at the objective experience of others around me, it never fails. We are chemical beings. And I think the faster we realize that, the better off we'll be as far as interacting with our fellow human being, or kinds of man, or mankind, or whatever you want to call it, right? This is why I say in the ending of my videos, you're as good as your last endeavor. Go right back to that. That last endeavor is very important, because people remember the last endeavor that you do more than anything, because there's a feeling that's resonated with that. There's a feeling that's connected with that. It's almost an imaginary umbilical cord between you and them. The interaction, the entanglement that you're having with them is an interaction. We're not talking about Jada and Will right now. We're going into the science of it, right? Chemical beings, chemically acclimated to that other person, to that place, that thing, right? And it's cyclical. You need it to be repeated over and over again. It's a drug. It's like a dope head. They got to get that routine. So we have R&R, ritualistic routines that we do very cleverly, very low key, to get back to that chemical hit. I do it, and everybody that I know do it, because I sit back and observe, and I say, damn, I ain't no different than that other person. That's why you got to be easy sometimes how you critique people, because to be honest with you, I know I have my flaws, and every day I'm trying to fix those flaws, understanding that I'm a slave to my biology, understand that I'm a chemical being first. So even in the power of the spoken word, how somebody says something to you chemically hits you a certain way. It could trigger anger, it could trigger disdain, or it can trigger you laughing and saying, yo, that's my dude, man. Or that's my shorty, I like hanging with her, right? And you benefit from that. You feel the resonance, the ambiance of that whole entanglement and experience that you're having with that person. And it makes you feel good. And it's a reset button that's hit. Why? Because that person don't realize it was living off valued energy. LOVE, love. Being in love is the same thing. You have a unwritten expectation from your partner to take care of your needs. If those needs are not met, deal's off. You can cancel that contract. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. And so how you make people feel is very important, because that person is a chemical being, you're a chemical being, and it's part of the human experience. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just something that needs to be understood. It's just who we are. And it's Psyche Major 101 when you're dealing with people. Understand how they operate. You understand that no matter what they say, they believe in, that's who they really are. Underneath all the linguistical explanations that they're going to give you about who they are, what they've been through, you're a chemical being. Argument. Counter argument would be, well, I'm not a chemical being. I can circumvent that and the whole feeling of it. I haven't met one human being that doesn't fit that description yet till this day. 45 years on this planet. But my 45 years exceed 45 years. And you see it all the time. All you gotta do is really sit back, observe, use that formula that I just gave you and see if it applies. Insert it in real time and see if the CD player of real time accepts the CD or rejects it out of there. And you say, damn, it won't fit in there. Why? Why I keep shooting it back out? So with that being said, it's just some certain things to bear in mind. So we are chemical beings. We're endorphin addicted or locked into that, right? And living off valued energy, LOVE, love. And I just wanted to drop that gem. Let your last endeavor be your best endeavor. I repeat, let your last endeavor be your best endeavor. It's very important to understand that. Because unfortunately, because we're chemical beings, more times than not, you're as good as your last endeavor. And I leave you in the name of peace. Salute.